In their new overseas house, an American family soon find themselves caught in the middle of a coup, and they frantically look for a safe escape from an environment where foreigners are being immediately executed. This movie review is a very special request to Chris Turner, aka Crystal T. Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for No Escape. No Escape was written and directed by Eric John Dowder. It came out in 2015 and it's an action thriller. It's rated MA15 plus, and the duration of No Escape is 1 hour and 43 minutes. The incredible cast of No Escape is Owen Wilson as Jack Dwyer, Pierce Brosnan as Hammond, and Lake Bell as Annie Dwyer. Far out in any way, shape, or form, I need to straight off the bat tell you about this incredible slow motion scene in this movie. Straight off the bat, guys, for anyone who's been following me for any period of time, I do not do spoilers in my reviews because I personally think that spoilers are not fair. I don't care how old a movie is, I do not do spoilers, so you won't be getting spoilers from me. When I talk to you about a sequence or a scene in a movie, I just give you paint a picture for you. So when you see it, if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen it, when you do see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. The slow motion elements in this film are breathtakingly brilliant. And they work so powerfully for the tension and the thrills of this movie. When I first saw the film, I remember thinking to myself, I am so incredibly, ridiculously confused about what I'm watching right now because I didn't understand. This movie has, straight off the bat, for anyone who's been following me for any period of time, you know exactly what film requires in order to be film, in order to be cinema, in order to have rewatchability. No Escape has this brilliant, embodied, incredible rewatchability to it that it is unbelievably breathtaking. The thrilling element and suspenseful character, I'm going to call the suspenseful character in this movie because it really, really is. It is so breathtakingly brilliant. No Escape is literally one of the movies that Owen Wilson has been in his career, and in the trivia I'll tell you a little bit about something very interesting to do with him being in a very dramatic role. No Escape is one of the most incredibly mind-blowing, brilliant films of Owen Wilson's career. It is so good. I want to try my hardest to explain something about this movie the first time I watched it. Now, since then, I have rewatched it because it has so much rewatchability. But the first time I watched it, I was so confused in what was going on. You'll understand why, and the director of the film made a very deliberate choice that the what happening right now elements of this film just take you in. It just happens. There's nothing that will prepare you for it, and you don't get it explained to you straight away. There's this scene, in fact, this movie has so many sequences of tear-jerking suspense. There is this scene, there's several of them, but I want to talk about one specific scene without giving any spoilers away, guys. where the youngest daughter, is experiencing something that she doesn't experience anymore because she's grown up. And the parents, Owen Wilson and his wife, they tell the daughter to just let it happen. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. That scene and the way that it is portrayed is so pure, is so innocent. It's just unbelievably effectively powerful. And they kind of not in the same context, but they kind of replay that scene further down the movie. And I tell you, not in the same context though, it's very, very different. But in the father-daughter element of it, I tell you what, guys, there are so many what in the world moments in this movie. As I said, the slowed down motion elements is like a character in this movie. And I tell you, there are so many sequences where you're watching it and you're literally like, there's this part of you that is just like, you almost feel like if you breathe or say anything, then they're gonna get hurt or something bad's gonna happen to them. The way the director in this film has brought the audience and taken their breath away, like literally just made you gasp at situations in this movie, is so brilliant. Incredibly brilliant. Oh my gosh. I kid you not, guys. This movie is so good. And it's quite interesting actually, because Pierce Brosnan's character, Hammond, isn't very big in this role, but it's very, very, very fundamental. Very fundamental. In fact, he kind of disappears out of the movie, but when he reappears in the movie, it's in such a clever way that the audience don't get what's happening right now. And then he reveals something happens, a situation happens, and you're like, oh, wow, that's incredible. And I tell you what, guys, something happens in this movie further on, in like actually right towards the end of the film, that they, no spoilers, they eat something. And Pierce Brosnan's, the way his character is just so relaxed and so chilled about what they're eating. And then Owen Wilson's character sees what they just ate a little bit later in the scene. And what you see it, the camera just sits on it for a bit. I tell you what, guys, just the way Hammond expresses the fact that he needed what he just ate. Oh, I tell you, wow. It's just like, oh, you just want to throw up. You're like, oh, that is so wrong. But he knew he needed to eat. He needed his strength. There's so many times in this movie that you're like, if you were watching this movie with someone who is extremely expressive, really expressive, someone who is one of those type of people who sits in the movie theater, he goes, run, oh my gosh, like they really, really, really get into the scene. This movie would would literally, that type of person would just be the most annoying person, but the most fun person in the same context, depending on how you look at a person like that. This movie is breathtakingly brilliant and so suspenseful. Oh, guys, I literally cannot talk this movie up enough. I really, authentically, genuinely, literally cannot tell you enough. I really can't. I can't express this movie enough. This movie is an absolute must watch. Now, I'm going to give a shout out, and this is not a paid sponsor at all in any way, shape, or form, but I want to give a shout out to Netflix because this movie is on Netflix. This movie is so incredibly brilliant. I really cannot, I can't encourage you enough to take the time out, brace yourselves in the most bracing way ever to go and see this film. Chuck it on Netflix or buy it on Blu-ray. It's on Blu-ray DVD. It's seriously, you're in for a ride. But the start of the film opens and you're like, what the heck? Why did that just happen? But then when Owen Wilson's character comes into the movie, for a period and a piece of the movie, it's just like, it's just them doing stuff. And then I believe it's the first slow motion sequence comes in, and I tell you, wow, you have no idea what is going down, and you really need to listen to the dialogue very carefully. No spoilers, but for the rooftop sequence, the rooftop scene, listen very carefully, very, very carefully. One thing I want to say about this movie really quickly, and then I'll get on to the trivia. One thing I want to say about this movie is don't be distracted by this movie. Listen to it very, very carefully. In fact, crank it up. Because as I was watching it this afternoon, I kind of thought to myself, I actually wish I listened to it not only louder, but with headphones on. Because the dialogue, yes, the action and the guns and all that stuff are really loud and stuff like that, but the dialogue is actually quite quiet. But it's quiet for its necessity. It's the necessity of being quiet. It's relevantly quiet. It needs to be quiet in this film. So guys, for anyone who's been following me for any period of time, or all my subscribers and all my viewers, or if you have never seen my channel before, welcome to my channel. I want to let you know right now that I actually give my audience, subscribers, my viewers, trivia, because it's just a little piece of my reviews that I love to do, and I personally love finding out trivia about movies, and I just think it's incredible. So guess what time it is, guys? Did you guess? Trivia time! The movie was shot in Thailand's tourist-friendly northern cities in Champang and Lampang. Next piece of trivia. After trailers for the film were released, as social uproar occurred in Cambodia over the use of upside Khmer lettering on the police shields, the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts since prohibited the film from being shown in Cambodia. Sinchen Chaya, director of the Department of Film, said that the decision to ban it was solely based on the trailer. Chen Cho said that the ministry had approached the Ministry of Film to edit it out of the film, but they had not replied by the decision had been made. Crazy, eh? Next piece of trivia, guys. During the credits, when the cast list scrolls up, none of the American actors are credited for the characters that they portrayed in the film. Next piece of trivia, and I'll leave you with this one, guys. Owen Wilson's first dramatic role since Behind Enemy Lines 2001, and what I can remember of that film, that's an incredible film. Thank you so much for first tuning into this review, guys. I genuinely value it, really appreciate it. Again, Chris Turner, thank you seriously so much for bringing this to my attention and requesting the movie review for it. I really value it. Thank you so much, brother. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click that bell for notifications if you're on a mobile device. That way when I drop anything, guys, it'll be yours straight away and you'll see my content straight away. Speaking of straight away, if you'd like to straight away leave a thumbs up on my movie review, that way I know that you're appreciating my content, guys. That really gives it's really good feedback for my channel, guys. I really value it. I really appreciate it. Speaking of appreciation, guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, honestly, I really value it so much. If you have seen No Escape, or if you haven't, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know your thoughts and feedbacks on this movie. What did you think? Did you think it was as breathtakingly, brilliantly masterful as I did, or were you not a fan of it? Were you think it was a little bit too much? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear back from you guys. It'd be absolutely amazing. And until my next movie review, whatever that may be, it's a surprise. You got to click that bell to get notified as soon as I drop anything. It'll be all yours. This is Superman Steve, guys, bringing you the movie review for No Escape. Flying out!